Yeah, it's the worst.
If you're hearing our voices, it means it's time for It's This Meets That, the podcast where we watch the worst movies from trailer to end credits, scene by scene, so you don't have to, but maybe you should. I'm Russ.
I'm Jared.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
I feel like we've done, I don't know, a million movies at this point, and I feel like every time we do a new one, I'm like, this is the worse than the last one.
Sometimes I still have, sometimes I sneaky enjoy things a little bit.
Yeah. And then some you're like, oh, this is just a comedy, but it's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like
this one, you kind of like that, but I didn't really laugh out loud very much.
No, just like, this is, okay. Yeah. All right, so here we are. This is the full breakdown of Midnight Sun, the 2018 Bella Thorne, Patrick Schwarzenegger film, flick, drama, not a comedy, just a drama.
Dramedy.
Yeah, there's comedy in there, but I think it's more us laughing at it.
Yeah, or Rob Riggle being creepy.
Yeah, pretty much. And just the ridiculousness of this movie. So, so you want to give us a recap of what it's all about?
Yeah, don't mind if I do. That notorious sentence. A 17-year-old girl suffers from a condition that prevents her from being out in the sunlight. All right, on.
All right. All right. Okay.
Why wouldn't you include any of the plot?
Yeah.
Like a 17-year-old girl suffers from a condition that prevents her from being out in the sunlight and still wants to fall in love and have a normal childhood.
Done. Better.
Way better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nope. Oh, she can't go outside. That's the plot.
That's okay. All right. So expectations or prognostications from the trailer. Spoilers going forward for Midnight Sun, everyone. We kind of nailed it. So
yeah.
I mean, we nailed the big twist at the end. The manipulation of emotions here. She dies.
That's right.
Got that right.
Yeah.
We were a little bit off on the time-traveling robots that come back and try to get to know her as a vampire so they can hunt more vampires out in the world.
That's right.
Which is the movie that we will probably... That's going to be our action movie that we're going to write.
Yeah. Bella Thorne, you can star in that if you want.
Yeah, that's fine.
She's not the worst actor.
No, not at all. No. So we were kind of there, but mostly missed the mark.
Yeah, I'd much rather watch Morbius meets Terminator.
Right? That's like, make that movie, please.
Yeah, that sounds dope. Yes, man. I wouldn't watch it again.
No.
Like, even movies that I hate, like, I would probably watch The Kissing Booth again. Like, it sucks, but it was like... It had fun moments where I was like, oh, like, it's the kind of thing I'd put on the background, maybe at a party, and you're like, oh, like, haha, like, look at this funny montage. Like, while I'm talking to people and not paying attention. Again. Yes. Just like this movie.
Good God. Okay. So that's that. I'm just going to keep moving here, right?
Roll right in, yeah.
All right. So quick info. This was directed by a fella named Scott Speer. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, who, Russ, is Scott Speer?
You took the words right out of my mouth.
I know. So he's a music video guy. He came from music videos. Hey.
Ooh, like that other guy that one time.
Yeah, David Fincher. There's a lot of great directors who came from music videos.
Yeah, no, I meant when we did on the pod, but...
Oh, yeah. Did we do one with the other guy?
We did a music video guy.
We did. Yeah. What was his name? I forgot his name, but yeah, whatever.
I was hoping you did.
Yeah.
Not David Fincher.
No, definitely not David Fincher. We couldn't even do Alien 3, which is not good. So I guess he started out doing, or what he started out further than this, but he was doing music videos for all sorts of people.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, Paula
Ashley Tisdale.
Ashley Tisdale. Yeah.
Paris Hilton. So crappy artists.
Yeah. Not like, not like real artists.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I see where this is going.
Yeah.
Wait a second. He did the music video for Riding Solo by Jason Derulo.
You're speaking a language, man. I have no idea this is.
Jason Derulo. That's for the listeners.
Do the kids know this one? I don't know. Is this a...
anyone who was alive in 2010 knows this, Russ. You definitely know the song.
Was I alive? I might have been dead in 2010.
That's fair. It's before I knew you, so
I think right now this is just a resurrected corpse. I don't think. At least that's how I feel every day.
Fascinating.
So yeah, he did all these, and he did Step Up Revolution, which 2012. Looks like his first feature, I think.
I think Thais is a big fan of that movie.
Yeah, because that's like the part of the trilogy, the Step Up trilogy, I think, right?
Is it a trilogy or a quadrilogy?
It might be a quadrilogy. I don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah, and he's now leaned into doing, looks like, feature films. So Midnight Sun, I Still See You, and then a movie called Endless. It looks like he's just doing like these really kind of sappy drama, young adult type flicks. So
yeah, I'm not familiar with any of these.
Me neither. So hey, Scott, keep doing what you're doing. I don't think the directing was the problem with this, really.
No. Well, no. Yeah.
No.
I think it was the script.
Yeah. Speaking of which, so this is a little bit of a spoiler for a fast fact, but so this movie's a remake because that's what we do here in America. We see another film somewhere else and we're like, we can do that better, and we can't. So we tried. I don't know if the original was any better, but it's actually a remake of a Japanese film from 2006 with the same name, Midnight Sun. Yeah.
Get your own ideas.
Yeah, right. So it was written by Kenji Bando, so this is based on that. And then the guy who converted it here was Eric Kirsten, who is known for this and Invasion and Skyline. Three things. And
Invasive? What is that about?
I don't know. These don't even really exist here. There's no movie poster for him. There's nothing here. So
wow. And 2 first names. Don't trust that guy.
No, never trust anyone. Never play cards with someone named after a city, and never trust anyone with 2 first names.
That's right.
So,
is that a safety tip?
I think it is actually. I was trying to remember that.
Should we check the book?
Yeah, it's been a while. Let's flip through it real quick.
I think
it might be. I think it's like around maybe. Was it in the hundreds? I can't.
Yeah. Do you see it?
Yeah, I think it's 131. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 131.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, here. Yeah. I think I found it here. So never play cards with someone who's named after a city.
Yep.
And certainly don't trust anyone who has 2 first names.
Yep.
Right.
That's right.
So yeah, there it is right there. So yeah, that's who wrote this. So we get to blame him, Eric and Kenji.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I wonder, like, how much of this is borrowed from the Japanese movie and how much of it is like just the concept is from the movie, and then they rewrote the script, because it's like it's very American. Yeah, like a lot of the all of it.
I'm still going to put international blame here across the seas here. Okay. Blame us and Japan for this one. This is a team effort of blame. So
that makes sense.
I think the idea of basing a story on like a very rare, ridiculous disease is kind of, I don't know. I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know if you're gonna like part 2 then.
I don't know if I'm into that. And I think it's also like if I was someone who had this disease and I watched this movie, I was like, really? You really? like you're making a joke out of the thing I have?
Not great.
No. It's not that I'd be watching this movie if I was like, oh, you know what I want to watch? I want to watch this movie about this rare disease that I have. I think that's like the last thing I'd want to do.
Yeah. Would I watch a movie about a disease I have? Maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
I think I would.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like, I would hope that it would be like, oh wow, my experience is being portrayed on the big screen.
Yeah, I don't imagine this is doing it.
But then I would be upset. Yeah.
I don't think that little girl in Guatemala who has this disease is like, yeah, Bella Thorne nailed it.
Nope, I think you're right. Spot on.
So actors, who's in it? So Bella Thorne, she plays Katie Price. Do we know a Katie Price? No, we know a Katie. No.
Katie Price is an actor, I think. I think there's an actor named Katie Price.
Yeah, I don't know. Price is right?
Pretty sure.
Doesn't matter.
Media personality and model, says the internet.
Yeah. Well, we know the internet's always right, so
that's right.
There's gonna be some point where we're gonna look up someone and they're gonna be like an AI character, and we're like, oh, this is a fake human actor, producer, writer.
Way sooner than we think.
Yeah, I think it's already happening.
I mean, like the Warcraft movie, I feel like could have been mostly AI acting, and I think it would have been fine. Don't you think?
Oh yeah, 100%. Then we got Patrick Schwarzenegger there, known for being the son of Arnold. Not much else.
You mean the 2018 nominee for Choice Movie Actor Drama for this movie?
No.
Patrick Schwarzenegger?
You stop it. You stop your face right now.
Teen Choice Award? Yeah. Did not win, but...
yeah, good.
Nominated.
What a world we live in.
Yep.
Okay, so... period. Plays Charlie, the love interest. Rob Riggle plays Dad. Katie Price's dad there.
Creepy dad.
Very strange. Quinn Shephard plays the best friend, the BFF, Morgan. We got Nicholas Coombe plays Garver, who's kind of like a tertiary character, comes in kind of important later on.
Comic relief.
Yeah. I put the doctor in her because she does pop up at like kind of really important moments. So Suleka Mathew plays Dr. Paula Fleming.
Sure.
And then Ferris Tayeb plays Man. So
right on. Credited as Man.
Just credited as Man. That's it. Man.
Sick.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Everyone knows that. That's our longtime dream is to become extras and just be in there as like maybe podcasters number 2 and 3 or something. Not at number 1, but like, or
I
just
want to be something slightly more descriptive than Man.
yeah. Like street man.
Yeah.
Man and street number 2 and 3.
Face down in the street, Man, number 4.
We think he got hit by a car, Man, number 1.
Ooh, the first one.
Yeah. Bumping you up, buddy. All right, so production box office numbers for this. So worldwide, this movie made $26,952,508.
That's pretty good. I mean, that's 8,500-ish fanatics, which not bad.
Yeah. And then split domestic 9.5. International did 17 million. Yeah.
Japan?
I was just thinking that maybe. We'll say yes.
Yeah, we'll just say yeah.
Yeah, we'll just say yes. Why not? Video about 1.7 million, and then on a budget of $2.8 million.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
all right, so it probably made a little bit of money.
Yeah, I mean, marketing budget probably not half that. So
yeah,
figured they took home a quarter of the 26. So yeah, I think it did all right. Made some bucks. So
I just assumed this was like a Netflix movie.
Me too. Yeah, I thought it was just like a Bella Thorne Netflix deal.
Yeah. But nope.
No, it was actually a real movie they put on in the theaters. Rotten Tomatoes, 20% critic, 57 audience.
I think the 20% is a little harsh on this one. I feel like this could get closer to 30. Like, think of all the schlock that we've watched.
Yeah.
Like, this wasn't that unwatchable.
No. Like,
it's a quick hour and a half. Rob Riggle.
Warcraft, unwatchable, painful. 28% or whatever, 29%.
Yep.
Yeah. Rob Riggle.
So long.
Yeah, so long. This is an hour and a half, and it's all mostly montages anyways, so it goes pretty quick. So
yeah, this is zippy.
Speaking of zippy, do you want to hear some fast facts about this film?
Back me, daddy.
So this is a remake of the 2006 Japanese film. So it's weird. I think it was originally called A Song to the Sun, but
that sounds romantic.
Yeah, but
way better title.
Yeah, but then I think it's then called Midnight. Maybe it was like an early name for it, but changed to Midnight Sun or something. So
way worse title.
You ready for this one? So Bella Thorne was diagnosed with dyslexia in first grade and was homeschooled, much like her character in this movie. Also, her father died in a car accident, like Katie's mother.
Oh my god, Jesus!
Like, I know. Like, why is this listed as a trivia thing? Like that's not trivia.
That's fun trivia.
Yeah. Why would someone put this on there?
I don't know. This sounds like they're us.
Yeah, probably. Are you ready for this? This is mind-blowing too. A novelization of the film was written by Trish Cook in 2018. Wow. So the movie came out, and then they did books, they did movies, they did flamethrowers, lunchboxes, Midnight Sun lunchbox. Get your Midnight Sun sunglasses. Get your Midnight Sun.
Yeah, all the merch. Midnight Sun thongs.
The lead singer in the club, because you remember they go to the club in the trailer. Oh, that was something we prognosticated about too, that he was going to make her play at the show, whatever.
Which he did make her play. But...
He did make her play, so we did nail that. So, so that band, because it's funny, she's playing a song, and then it rolls. The song's playing in the background, and it rolls into like what we hear, and it rolls into them going to the club, and then like the band is playing that song.
Yeah.
The lead singer in the club is Tom Vanderkam, and he's in the band Hawking, which is a Canadian alt rock band. I don't think the band was Hawking, but I think it was just him and like
just him.
Yeah, I don't know. He's in a bunch of different bands, so yeah, so a fun thing. Yeah.
Interesting.
Because this
If you're
movie
gonna
was
get a band, get the whole band. Like, like a Blink-182 American Pie.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you want.
And this movie was also filmed in Vancouver, British Columbia. So
Our friends to the north.
That's right. Yeah, America's top hat. Phew.
That's right.
This is one. So I got two more left here. This is one of many films and TV. I didn't even list all of them. Many TV shows that use this rare disease, XP, as like a plot point.
I don't think I've ever seen it in anything.
Yeah, and there's like a bunch of like shows. I don't even have all of them. So like one of the earliest ones is called Children of Darkness, which was a German silent drama film released in 2 parts in 1921 and 1922.
That was dramatic.
Very dramatic. Dark Side of the Sun, 1988 film with Brad Pitt in his first starring role, which was which is an American Yugoslavian drama or something like that. It's like, what is it? What?
Very the strange. Slavs.
Yeah. The Others from 2001 with Nicole Kidman, which was like a kind of like a horror, psychological horror film, which I think I saw in the movie theaters, where she had two kids that had to avoid being in the sun because of this rare disease they had.
Oh, I don't think they didn't make the disease like a big focus. I feel like it was like the kids needed to stay inside, but it wasn't like a
but it was like
I saw that.
Yeah, they were like sensitive to photosynthetic light, whatever, so it was kind of basic. That, but
friend of the pod, Nicole Kidman. Now that we've said her name twice.
Yep. The protagonist of Dean Koontz's Moonlight Bay trilogy has XP. Dean Koontz, big author. We all know who he is, right?
Yeah.
And the 2011 French drama The Moon Child, based on a 13-year-old with XP. So yeah.
Okay. Wow.
It's all the rage. So last one here, and this is kind of surprising considering I didn't know Bella Thorne was also like a singer, but I mean, everyone's not
surprising to me.
Yeah, everyone's multi-talented these days, right?
Yeah.
Producers, directors, writers, authors, podcasters, Podcoasters too. Can we get those on the?
Yeah.
Ooh, Podcoaster. Nice.
In the works.
Oh yeah, Podcoasters. We're a couple Podcoasters. That's how you say it in Scotland. A couple of Podcoasters. So Bella Thorne performed a handful of songs on the soundtrack, including the 2 hit singles. I don't know if they're hits. The 2 singles, "Burn So Bright," which that seems like a weird title for. Right?
Well, I think it's on the nose.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it's right.
Nope.
And "Walk With Me." So
also listening to the lyrics of the song, 2 on the nose.
2 on the nose, yeah. And also very strange that so then I'm wondering, like in the movie when she performs, does she perform? I guess she performs maybe these 2 songs, or are those the songs she performs in the movie? Okay,
yeah.
That would make sense.
That wasn't obvious to you?
Well, no, I didn't know that the soundtrack that she had done these songs.
Oh, gotcha.
But I also like then listening to it and watching the movie is like this because they obviously recorded it afterwards and put like auto dub, and it looks so out of place. And I was like, is she actually singing this? But
yeah, I mean, it does sound like her voice because it is her voice, but
yeah, it's just very strange.
Yeah, because the song sucks. That's why I assumed.
They're terrible. No offense, but your music sucks. And it's okay. You can say our Podcoasters suck, so that's fine.
Totally. And maybe she has music that's good.
No.
Who knows?
No. Shutting that down right now.
Anything's possible.
Anything's possible. Hey, people like us. People listen to us. Some people hate us. It's fine. Whatever.
That's right. Some
don't have to listen. You don't have to listen. No, you don't have to listen. That's all. Right? Change channel.
You can't stay here.
Yep. That's right. That's it. Do you want to Hollywood pitch me? You motherfucker.
You mother car accidenter.
Too soon. Hashtag too soon. Jesus.
Yeah, speaking of inappropriate things,
never forget.
This movie's clearly Girl in the Basement meets 300.
I mean, say no more if you don't want to.
Now, are you familiar with Lifetime original movie Girl in the Basement, based on a true story?
I think I missed that one. Please tell me all about it.
So if you watch our movie and pretend that Rob Riggle and Bella Thorne are not sarcastic and that they're delivering their lines earnestly,
same movie.
I feel like it kind of goes in the direction of Girl in the Basement. Girl in the Basement's about a dad who imprisons his daughter in the basement. For
okay. This is all tracking.
decades.
Yeah.
There's some torture and rape and things involved that
Jesus.
did not happen in this movie.
No. But
Well, torture maybe.
maybe.
And creepy, like, oh, you're hot just like your mom.
Oh, what? That's so gross.
Like, and when you say all the Rob Riggle lines without like
The Rob Riggle. Without the Riggleness, it gets really creepy. It turns into like a horror movie. All of a sudden, it's like a Stephen King movie.
Yes, exactly. Just like Girl in the Basement.
You look just like your mother. She was hot. You're lucky because she was hot. Like, what?
Ew.
Gross.
You
can't even wriggle out of that one.
No, you sure can't. Both movies are somewhat based in reality. Maybe a little bit of a stretch on both parts here. The Girl in the Basement, a little bit dramatized version of a real, true to awful story.
Yeah, sounds like it.
And this one, like, people have this disease.
Yeah, 1 out of 100,000 in the world, I think, or something.
Yep, it's an inaccurate portrayal of said disease.
I think that's correct. That's
and I guess that's probably it. Maybe a little wishful thinking. Like, I kind of wish that they had turned this into a horror movie.
Yeah. And by the way, we are experts, just like Patrick Schwarzenegger's character is in this movie, because we did the same thing he did probably and just Googled it
for 5 minutes.
For 5 minutes. We had our own 5-minute montage of us just Googling it, and then I got totally sidetracked and was like,
listeners, he literally in the movie says, "I did my research. I know what you're going through."
What? You can't possibly know what I'm going through.
Yep. Wild.
Yeah.
So that one's that.
Okay, that fits.
300, which I have to do an obligatory plug for the old 300th episode of ITMT that came out recently.
We still have bottles of champagne we were trying to drink through, so.
That's right. That's
300 of them. I think we're at 292 to go.
Yeah, at least. I think we only drank one.
Yeah, I think we were going to have a bigger party, but we didn't. It's
just so much sugar.
Yeah.
The hangover.
There's only so much orange juice I can put in champagne.
That's right. But based on the sequel to 300, right? Great episodes of ITMT. Check them out.
Classic stuff. Already.
Highly recommend. But 300, the original.
Yeah.
In case you've forgotten, the main character dies a wildly preventable death.
Yeah.
Just like in this movie, where Patrick Schwarzenegger kind of murders her.
Kind of. Yeah. A little bit.
Like pretty directly murders her.
Also like, I didn't know my watch is, it's not waterproof. I was like, are you?
She's never been outside, Russ. She's never been outside.
I guess she's never been in water.
She can't see without her glasses.
What, Dad didn't teach her that in homeschool class? Like, by the way, just so you know, not everything's waterproof.
Yep. Nope. Preventable hero dying. Again, based in reality, but kind of stretches the reality there, right? Just like 300.
Yeah.
Would also had some like weird comic relief that didn't really feel like it made sense about some serious situations. Like in 300, there's like, I don't know. They definitely make a bunch of weird jokes that you're like, wait, I thought this was a history movie.
I thought this was a history movie.
Yeah, exactly. Both movies arguably too long.
Yeah.
This one's quick and short, but still, if you cut the montages out, it probably would have been 15 minutes of movie.
Yeah.
Right. And 300's our boy Zack Snyder, so obviously it's a long movie. Maybe one of his shortest movies. It's less than 2 hours. Just
might be. Well, yeah, because this was like his first big breakout, so they had him under probably a little bit tighter leash, and then everyone's like, "Well, you can do whatever you want now, Zach. Make your director's cuts." Yep,
exactly. And the last thing I would say is that enemy of the pod, Zack Snyder, is a big part of 300. I think we have some new enemies of the pod on this one.
Yeah.
Eric Kirsten specifically.
Yep. 2 first names. And Kenji.
Thankfully, we won't have to watch any more of his movies, but
yeah, probably not.
because they don't seem like they exist according to IMDb.
He doesn't exist. He's an AI character. So
Yeah, that's right. And that's all I got.
that's gonna be funny. We're gonna get to a point, I think, in our timeline where movies are gonna be written by AI, and then studios are gonna cover that up by creating AI people and putting them on IMDb, and then giving them credits so they can just cover their asses and be like, "This wasn't written by AI. It was written by this person."
Yeah, well, I think it's not going to be to cover their asses. I think it's because we're going to be championing AI rights soon.
Yeah.
Like AIs are people too, Russ.
Oh, man.
I don't know. That new ChatGPT's out. That can do some light reasoning.
Yeah, maybe someday we can just have like a third, or we can bring Glenn back through AI. Glenn,
Listeners, stick with us for another 5 years.
5 years.
See how NVIDIA does?
Yeah.
We can bring Glenn back.
Yeah. Let's bring Glenn back. 20.
Yeah. For listeners that don't know,
Yeah.
that's a good throwback to Glenn. Gone too soon to be in an episode. Former third man of ITMT partner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. R.I.P. Let's have a
You can
moment.
buy his face on a shirt. At the website. It's justbeatsout.com.
which helps us continue to do this. So
that's what we said in place of a moment of silence.
yes. Yes.
All the proceeds of the Glenn shirt go to me and Russ.
Yes. I think his last words were "merch on." It was kind of a play on, like, he might have said "march on," but I think he said "merch on." So we're gonna.
Glenn was funny as hell.
Yeah, he was hilarious. Too bad he couldn't stick around to even be in the first episode. He had some rare disease.
Yeah.
So,
Oh my god, is that in the Glenn lore?
I don't. We should probably double check. I forget how he died.
Yeah, I don't remember how he died either. I don't know if we've ever specified.
I hope not.
Is he not even on the crew list? Oh no, he is. Okay.
Yeah, he's in there. He's in there. Of course, he's in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nope, never. Former late ex dead host.
Yeah, I can't quite. Well, I try to block it out of my memory how he died, but it's either he got shot by someone he cheated who had a city for first name. He was playing cards against someone, like a guy named Dallas, whatever.
That's right.
And he tried to cheat him, and Dallas shot him in a saloon somewhere.
That might be where the safety tip came from.
Yeah. Or he died.
It's all coming back.
Or he died by some gruesome death by like wolves that turn into humans. I don't know, something like that. Torn apart by a bunch of Taylor Lautners.
And when you say that, you mean that's what we imagined, but really it was just wolves.
Yeah.
He like went out in Yellowstone, and we were like, Glenn, careful.
Yeah, careful, buddy. Do you even hike, Glenn?
All right.
And yes, and he was torn apart by wolves, but he still had his last dying words were to us were merch on. So
merch on.
Go buy his t-shirt. Support Glenn. Support us by supporting Glenn. Okay.
That's right. Rip Glenn.
All right. Enough.
So what do you got?
Oh, right. We're still doing this, aren't we? Delaying the inevitable getting to this movie. All right, mine's kind of a nose little spot on. Also a throwback to classic episodes we have. So I went. It's Bubble Boy meets Charlie St. Cloud. So
nice.
Yeah, Bubble Boy is kind of obvious one, right? Got to stay in his bubble, can't really go out into the world and see the world. But then once he gets out to the world, he realizes how amazing a world it is. Kind of like our character. He doesn't die, though. When he gets out in the real world, he realizes that, I didn't need to be in a bubble all the time. I just had an overprotective mom. We do have a kind of overprotective dad here, but for a reason. So
yeah, in this case, it makes like she should have been in some kind of tinted bubble.
Yeah. I guess it's also the other part of it. Like, just put her in like a tinted. She can roll around outside. We have
that would have been dope.
We have that technology.
It might have cooked her.
Well, not if it's tinted.
I'm no scientist.
I don't know. Might have cooked her. So that's it for that one. And then meets Charlie St. Cloud, classic ITMT episode we did a long time ago. Kind of a lot of parallels here. Very manipulative drama for the emotions. Pacific Northwest, both of them.
Oh yeah.
Big boats going on. A lot of boat stuff in both movies. Does someone die in the boat? No, it was a car accident. That's right. In Charlie St. Cloud, which.
Yep.
Her
just
mom,
like this movie.
Yeah, just like her mom, like in this movie, her mom dies of a car accident. So that's that. I said the boats thing. Love story.
Yep.
And in that one, isn't she like she's kind of like dead and like telling him to come find him or something like that? Yeah, that doesn't happen in this one, but
yep.
Yeah.
Is she dead or almost dead?
Almost
Does
dead.
she end up being alive? Yeah.
Yes.
She ends up being alive.
Yeah,
right?
he ends up saving her at the end. He's like, oh, she's actually not really here. She's kind of dead in this weird zone.
Yeah.
So
it really like kind of messes with the whole concept of his superpowers.
yeah, that's right, because he had superpowers.
Right.
Yeah.
Interact with the dead. Yeah.
Yeah. We got a dead brother, though, little brother in this movie.
Yep.
Yeah, she doesn't have a sibling, but she dies. So
Yep. So one could argue might have had a dead little brother that's just not in the movie.
that's true. So there you go. That's it. Short and sweet. I don't really need to explain myself any further. So
Yeah, well, go listen to the episodes for 300, Rise of an Empire, and Charlie St. Cloud.
and go get a t-shirt while you're wearing your Glenn t-shirt. So
Or we're not.
pour one out. All right, you ready to break this thing down?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's
Sure are.
So we come up with all of our production and distribution groups here, right?
Yep. Loads of credits. Somebody had to give money to this movie.
Someone has to launder money, to make a movie.
That's
So we got 3 here. We got Global Road Entertainment, which is a TMP company.
Yep. Friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod. Yep. So it's Open Road Entertainment. Global Road Entertainment.
Well, Open Road Films, formerly known as Global Road Entertainment.
Thank you. I was like trying to get there. I'm like, too many roads here. That is a TMP company, which is Tang Media Productions, right?
Yep.
Right?
Yep,
Which is owned by this fella named Donald Tang, who?
Donnie Tang.
Donnie Tang.
Gangster name.
Yeah, it is pretty right. Yeah, Donnie Tang. Taking you guys down. Donnie Tang.
Yeah.
Who you can find a bunch of information on Wikipedia. Who looks like Jordan Peele meets Randall Park.
Yep. Spot on, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
You listeners, you can imagine that.
Yeah.
Then you got Donnie Tang.
And you got Donnie Tang and a sketch for a Key and Peele sketch. So yeah, Google them and you'll see and you'll laugh and you'll go, ha ha ha. Now I get it. So.
Yep. And go listen to Show Dogs in Siberia, which are
also Open Road. Yeah.
Yep.
Global Road and whatever entertainment film. So we did. So
any kind of road.
Fury Road, Global Road, Open Road. It's all there. 3 movies we've done that all came out in 2018 now. So Midnight Sun, Siberia, and what was the third one?
Show Dogs.
Show
all within a
Dogs.
few months of each other.
Yeah, they were crushing
Really
2018.
Diverse movies there. Like
animated
complete
children's film.
Partially animated.
The drama thriller with Keanu Reeves in Siberia there. The Diamonds.
Yep.
Right? Remember, if anyone tries to sell you Blue Diamond, tell them no, because it's fake.
Fake.
So.
Yeah, violent. Yeah. And then this teen drama.
Yeah. Hey, sometimes you just gotta write outside your genre.
Yeah. Well,
So
they don't have one.
I guess they don't have one. And then we got a BSFG Productions, which was the Boys Schiller Film Group, but that has now been consolidated down to the Boys Schiller Entertainment because you can't just do films; you got to do all of it, right?
Right. Exactly. When in Rome.
Like we do. I think we have an entertainment. We were formerly known as ITMT Entertainment, but now we're the ITMT
Industry Lab Corp.
That's right. So, which means we just do all of it. So
that's right. And science.
And science. That's right. And science. So mix that in there. And then we got Wrigley Pictures, which I think we had the same problem last time we came across Wrigley Pictures. You just get Wrigley gum. So
yeah, there's no way to know.
There's no way to know. So,
but I'm sure maybe what I think I'm thinking now.
Yeah, think away.
What if it was Charlie St. Cloud? I could totally see it. I mean, these are similar movies.
Yeah, that's true. Wrigley Pictures to the Charlie St. Cloud.
We could look this up, but I might.
Doing the background while I'm setting this up right now.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so then we come to our opening of our film, and we're going directly into voiceover from Bella Thorne's character here, Katie. And this is all from the trailer. There's a lot of this movie is just everything from the trailer plus montages. That's the entire movie.
Yep.
We're done.
Yeah.
But
it's kissing booth and then some.
So she's telling this voiceover how she has this recurring dream of her sitting on the beach with her mom. We get some shots of that, playing the guitar. And then she wakes up.
Misleading from the trailer. We thought this was going to be like, oh, I have this dream about, getting hitched or something on a
being
boat.
Yeah, it was just more about her mom.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
You tricked us.
And then she comes in so harsh with this voiceover, and then she wakes up, snaps out of like this little dream state thing, and she's in her room. She's like, and then I wake up and I miss this dream because, well, my mom is dead. It's like, oh, all right, Jesus, like, wow. And I can't go on the sun like ever. It's like, oh,
yeah,
okay.
And they do it exactly like the Kissing Booth too, where it's like, okay, we're just gonna do this 5 minutes of opening exposition at the beginning. That
all the voiceover. Yep.
Yeah, all the voiceover, and with like the very casual. My mom died when I was little. It's okay.
Yeah, that's right. Kissing Booth did the same thing. That's right. They just kind of threw it in there. That's right. Like the cancer, the same thing. That's right. They did all the flashback cuts of her with the mom. Wow.
Yep. Wow. The same movie.
Same movie. Amazing. And then she goes on. We get a ton of exposition about this rare disease she has, which is a real disease. XP. Was it xeroderma pigmentosum?
Pigmentosum.
Yeah. So it's a real thing. It's pretty rare. So
pretty awful.
Yeah, I looked it up, and Googling it was terrifying.
Yeah, listeners, they could have just said this in the movie instead. In the movie, they're like, I don't know, take 10 minutes to explain, I can't be in the sun. Yeah. They could have just said, I can't be in the sun because this disease means that my skin doesn't heal radiation damage from the sun.
Right. Done. Yeah.
They never explain what the disease actually is. They're just like, no sun bad.
Yeah.
And you're like, it doesn't seem like it's a difficult concept to understand. Like,
no, it's not.
This radiation damage that happens every time you're out in the sun, their bodies just don't heal it.
Right.
Easy. Super easy to understand.
Yeah. I think we even said in the trailer trash, we're like, aren't we all allergic to the sun? Yeah. Too much of it. And they're just a little more sensitive to it.
They just don't heal. Right.
Actually, a lot more sensitive to it. And they don't heal.
Yep.
So, yeah. There you go.
Yep. Fascinating.
Get outside, but not for very long, everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the long story short. 10 minutes max. That's all you need. So then she's like, it's all stuff from the trailer. So she's like, I spend inside all day. I got special windows. And I hang out with my dad, who is awesome. And it's Rob Riggle.
The best dad ever. Yeah.
And then we got shots of like young her hanging out behind her window, and there's young kids down the street. We got the cheerleader girl, is a young girl. She's the one who's like, yeah, did you hear? I think she's like a vampire or something, which is a derogatory term for people who have XP, so don't say that.
That's right.
We may have said it, but we're not apologizing, but we're just saying don't do it.
We didn't know.
Just you learn, you change.
We're being better.
That's the point. We're not going to apologize. We're not being sorry. We're just being better. That's right. That's it. Yeah.
Until part two.
So get ready for that. And then not everyone was afraid of me, and she meets her friend Morgan, and then we meet Morgan as a young girl meeting dad, and she's like,
yeah, I love this conversation with Rob Riggle. What's wrong with her? She has XP. What does that mean? Well, she can't be out during the day. Can she play at night? Well, yeah. Okay, see you tonight. And I like pizza.
Alrighty.
Classic little kid
move. And then we get our initial, moment of her stalking Charlie and seeing Charlie, which comes back.
Which is messed up.
Yeah. Just watches him every day, stalking him as he skateboards by. So
I got utterly hooked.
And then we get into like our first montage, I think, right?
This whole thing has been a montage, but
yeah, I guess that's true. This whole thing's been a montage of her voicing over, and then it's like her going to the doctors, and then her watching Charlie, and then her playing the guitar, and then her in bed.
Basically
the
trailer,
yeah, and then we cut to some bad indie pop music, and then we get our credits, and we got a shot of the town pulled up, and then we get the title card, Midnight Sun.
Yeah, she's like, I've got a pretty great life, and I hold on to my dreams because, like, even if they're impossible, I have dreams. Like, what?
Okay. All right.
Okie dokie.
Okay. And we get graduation day, and we got a montage of kids going through graduation in Purdue High School there. Go whatever they're called out there. Go see
Wombats?
Wombats? Yeah, go Wombats. Yeah, that checks out. Go Sun Nights. Yeah, like a night, but night.
Sundays? Ice cream day?
Yeah, okay. And then we cut back to home. We got Dad. He's all dressed up in his, this is from the trailer. We're like, is he graduating high school? Did he go for her? No, it's just that she's
like,
been.
No. All the teachers do it. And you're like, oh, do they?
Yeah, they dress up in the Captain Count thing, right? Yeah.
I know. I just like to pick on him because he's a creep.
Yeah, he definitely is. So then he's like, hey, she's obviously homeschooled and graduation day for her. And he's like, hey.
Valedictorian.
That's
do a speech.
Yeah, do a speech. And he gets her a gift, and it's Mom's guitar.
Yep.
And she's like, cool, thanks, Dad. And we get a quick flashback of mom and daughter on the beach hanging out. And then this is where we get the first creepy line from Dad. He's like, you look just like your mother. Lucky you, she was hot. That's...
When you say it like that...
When you say it like that, that's weird.
You're a creep.
Yeah. He kind of wriggles himself out of it, but it's still like, a little bit, that's a weird thing. And she goes, ew, which is, that's...
justifiable.
Yeah, that's a correct response. I was like, is this what? No, you don't say that.
It's also like, I feel like his funniest scene too, because he was definitely like talking about the lame card, and that's when he's like, yeah, it's the worst. I went to every store looking for the worst possible graduation card.
Yeah, it's definitely Rob Riggle being Rob Riggle a little bit. But.
And the rest of the movie, he tones it way down, and it's the movie's worse because of it.
Yeah, definitely. And then she goes to bed, but she can't because the kids are just partying in the streets, apparently honking their horns because of graduation
all day.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is my first thought of what does he do for work that he can like be home with her weird hours and like he like homeschools her at night. It seems
he's a photographer for like the local paper or something,
right? Which we don't find out until later. But I was just, that's my first thought. Just like, what does this guy do that he can have such flexible timing of everything and like homeschool his daughter and live in this really nice house in Seattle adjacent suburb
somewhere like I don't know. Anyways,
suspicious.
And then we cut to the next creepy part. Dad's home darkroom down in the basement. Much like your movie, Stuck in the Basement there, whatever it's called.
Girl in the Basement.
Yeah, that's right. Because then she comes down, she's kind of a girl in the basement. So, it seems a little odd. But then she's like, hey,
play at the train station with her buddy, the ticket man,
Fred. What a
R.I.P. Fred.
R.I.P. Fred. And then he's like, he extends the curfew, and so so she's off.
Yeah.
Well, she's off, but then we cut to bonfire, right?
He says he is extending her curfew, and I was like, but then, and she goes to the train station where Fred knows her.
Yeah.
But also, then they play up the whole time that she's like never been outside. And you're like, so how often are you going to the train station? Is that the only thing you're doing? You're not doing any other normal teenager things while you're sneaking out and about?
Yeah, like
you have a friend.
Yeah, like you can go do stuff.
At night, right.
Right, yeah.
And this movie is maddening.
It gets even more maddening, so buckle up. So then we're at the bonfire. We got the bros party. We got Charlie there. He's just ruminating on life because that's what you do when you're 17, 18 years old. And you just graduate high school at the bonfire, drinking beers. You're like, what's my life hold? He's like, what is my life? What do I do now? And you're drinking beers, and Charlie's drinking a sad beer. And then bros are like, dude, don't be so sad. And he's like, we get to do this our whole life. You dodged a bullet,
bro.
Yeah, we get to do this. Yeah. He's like, we get to do this our whole lives, man. Just party. Look at this. And he shots at kegs and girls.
The beach, party all day.
Bro.
You've been so far away from the beach at Berkeley.
Are you kidding me?
Not that far.
Yeah. Hey, another kissing
right next
booth.
To the ocean.
Another kissing booth connection too. Because
right.
She was going to go to, right? Which is actually a very good school. We learned later.
And is like an hour away from the ocean.
Yeah.
Like, not that far.
Not that far. So then he's like, he missed his full ride to Berkeley. And then the cheerleader girl, Zoe, that's her name. Zoe Carmichael. That's that's a good villain cheerleader name from like an 80s movie.
Totally. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Zoe Carmichael. Ugh. Bitch,
just like sinister.
Yeah, Zoe Carmichael. So she comes over and she just hits him right in the shoulder, and he's like, "Oh!" And it's like, "Oh, sorry, I forgot that's your."
Is that your bad arm? Whoops.
And she's like so pushing. She's like, "You gonna get me a drink?" And he's like, "Oh, I didn't know you wanted one." She's like, "Yeah, I do."
Yeah, now you know.
Now you know.
And he's like, "Now that you're not swimming, you have a lot more time for me, right?"
Yeah.
Right, Charlie?
Right, Charlie.
And he's like, well, see you later.
He's like, hey, you're gonna come to my grad party, right? And that's a little setup for later.
Yeah, right.
That's a little nugget we need to know. And then he's like, Charlie's like, I'm out ditching this because he stinks. He's boring. So
not feeling it, boys. They're like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm dodging another bullet. I'm not interested in that chick. She stinks.
That hot cheerleader. Like,
I hate hot cheerleaders.
Yeah, I hate them. I'm an 18-year-old boy.
I'm so popular, but I also hate parties.
Yeah. Popular from the swim team. I don't know anyone that's popular from the swim team. It's like football or soccer or something, right? I don't know. Basketball.
Yeah, yeah. I don't.
The swim team big thing? I don't know. I don't know.
No.
Hey, listeners, if you were big in the swim team, let us know. Were you popular?
Yeah, tell us.
Cool. He can swim really fast.
Sick. Oh, I got a regular Michael Phelps over here.
Yeah, right. No, people want the star quarterback who makes millions of dollars on TV, not the guy who swims and might make it to the Olympics. Who cares?
He's got his weird long top body. Look at his overdeveloped delts.
Gross. He shaves his entire body to be faster. He's like a baby seal.
Sick.
He's sick. A baby seal out there.
Just flopping around.
All right, so then we're at the train station and we meet Fred, and she's like, hey, because Fred comes back later.
Yeah, Fred's like Norm from Cheers.
Yeah, hey,
does not leave the booth.
He's just there all the time, 24/7.
Oh, hey.
Hey, by the way, so this train station, it's like I was like,
Germany.
Is this, I was like, are we in like Red Dead Redemption 2 right now? Like, where are we? Like the Old West? Because
it's either Old West or Germany.
What is happening? Like the train, the actual train that pulls up to is also like the old like steam engine train. Like, I mean, I know they still operate, but like, what?
Not like this.
It runs on like a new shitty Amtrak. Like, not shitty. Yeah. I love Amtrak, but brought to you by Amtrak.
Yeah, brought to you by Amtrak.
Yeah, train away.
Sponsored by trains.
Yeah. Amtrak. Keep training.
They don't have security.
Which we learned from
travel by train.
Yes, which we learned from that Taylor Lautner movie.
That's right.
In Pittsburgh. So then she starts playing and singing, and it's nice, and I was like, but like yeah.
She sound like her voice is good and her guitar playing is adequate, but it's the lyrics are so dumb.
But it's also so painful because it's very clearly, obviously, like they recorded this separately and like placed it over, so she's clearly lip syncing this thing in, but it's like bad ADR. It's like it's bad, like it's just, I was like, she's not actually doing this, like
and the lyrics of the song are like about her being awake at night.
Jesus. And it's taking so long, and this is like, so we have this movie's montages, everything from the trailer, and then I think 3 or 4 songs where we go, we listen from beginning to end. The whole song. There's this one, the recording studio, and then the one she plays out in Seattle, and it's like the whole song. It's like great.
And it's also like nothing happens until almost 50 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, and then like, so then she's playing a song, and then Charlie's happens to be walking by, and he's like, "Oh, what is that? Sorry, the voice of an angel." And then,
importantly, meanwhile, people are giving her money. Train passengers are giving her money and peanut M&Ms.
A kid drops off M&Ms. Brought to you by peanut M&Ms. Play those tunes, Yeah, I think as you like to call it, these would be are these Chekhov's M&Ms here? Like,
that's right. They are Chekhov's M&Ms.
Don't introduce M&Ms in the first act. Those better go off in the third act.
Oh, they will.
Oh, they will. She actually dies. Like, she chokes on an M&M.
I was gonna be like, oh my god, she's allergic to peanuts.
Nope. Something you could relate to, and you're like, I can't. Oh man.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, this movie's back to unrelatable.
I can't connect.
Yeah, but you're right. Charlie sneaks up on her like a pervert, and like from the trailer, and he just says the whole bit.
Off control.
And then she drops everything,
and then freaks out. And I mean, I don't know. I guess 17-year-olds, kids are weird, and they freak out when their crush comes up on them, and they're like, "Ah, what are you doing here?"
But also, like, just be a human being and like,
just
say hi,
hey, and keep playing your song. That's it.
Yeah. And he asks questions like, "Oh, well, wait a second, you live here? You didn't go to Purdue High? I would know you."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Nope. Well, gotta go.
Gotta go. See ya." And then
say I was homeschooled. Like, there's so many easy ways she could have just.
That's embarrassing, though, Jared.
Is it?
I don't know.
I don't know. I know a homeschool kid.
Yeah. Were they weird? They're weird, aren't they? They gotta be weird. They're all weird. Yeah. You have to have that interaction with other kids. You have to get picked on. You have to get bullied. You have to go through that, right? That's just.
Exactly. But mostly well adjusted.
Mostly well adjusted, but a little weird. A little bit weird.
A little weird.
So she's like trying to she's giving a terrible excuse. She's like, oh, my cat, I gotta go take care of my cat. And then she's like, oh, my cat's dead. And he's like, oh, it died. It's like, oh, okay.
So you don't have to go take care of it? And she's like, well, I gotta plan the funeral.
Yeah. Cat died in a car accident too? What's going on here? So
good Lord.
And then so she takes off, but she forgot her lyric journal notebook, which Mr. Patrick
Chekhov's notebook.
Definitely. So we had M&Ms and notebooks. Let's see if those come back later. She runs away, didn't get her name, and then so he's got her book. And then the next day we're at the doctor's office, which looks like a corporate like Amazon headquarters in Washington. Like,
yeah,
right? Like
one of those nice doctor's offices,
which Morgan does call out later in the movie. She's like, "Oh, this is like a really fancy doctor's office." Like, thank you for calling that out because it's very strange. No hospital looks like this.
Agreed. And it's like it's weird because the appointment is just Daddy, doing like
an update,
like giving an update. But you're like, why wouldn't they bring her to the? I mean, I get it's probably during the day, but like you would think they'd make a special accommodation for a night patient. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just very bizarre. And he's like, oh, yep, no loss of intellectual function yet, no corneal ulcerations, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wait a second, is Rob Riggle a doctor?
Yeah.
Why does he? And I guess like, oh no, he's just being a good dad.
Yeah, he just knows his stuff, right? And the doctor here, Dr. Paula Fleming or whatever, she's we get just more information about XP. And
she's like, well, she should be coming to these appointments. And I was like, oh, good, I was right.
Yeah. And going on about the risks of what could happen, and she could have a thing, and she gets exposed, yada yada. We got no son. So, and then a key point too. He's like, well, what about we got funding and for the research for the blah blah blah. That's a important thing. So I'll come back later because
the clinical trial. Because
Big Pharma always wins, and it's like we're putting money towards something else. So
yeah, they're like this disease only affects 1 in a million people, which not true. It's more than that.
Yeah.
And this is just like the schlock that this movie is. And Barbara goes like, well, then we're in luck because she's 1 in a million. End scene. And you're like, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
No. 1 in a million. You're going to be sadly disappointed.
They also like lie about the disease again. And she's like, like even if she's exposed to the slightest bit of sunlight, it's all over. And you're like, that's not how this works. Again, it's they get damage from the sun that doesn't get repaired. Like you can take a good amount of damage from the sun and still be fine.
Yeah.
You're just going to probably show visible signs on your body.
Yeah.
Unlike being slightly pale like she is.
Oh god, this is all set up, and the reason why they're doing it is because it's all set up for like the very dramatic moment halfway through the movie that is where it turns into comedy.
Even
it's
the
like,
slightest bit of sunlight.
Oh my god, like she's not actually a vampire. Like she can like that's how it feels like they're playing this. Like stop it.
Yes. Oh yes, she's going to explode. Like you don't. The disease does not work in that you don't go from
0 to 60
to terminally ill in 2 minutes. But in this movie, you do. So we'll get there.
You got to make things, tension building. All right. So then we're back at home. We're in a room, and then we got her and Morgan hanging out doing, girl chat about the boys, stuff like this, all from the trailer. Cat funeral. She's like, "That's the best. What are you doing here?" And then we get the whole trailer exposition. Classic. I hate this when they do this thing in movies where she's like, "Oh, what should have said?" Where she says the truth, but in like kind of this really joking, sarcastic way. But it's like, obviously, don't say it that way, you jerk. But
yes.
But yes.
More or less that.
Yeah, it's called telling the truth. It's like,
yep. And they're like, well, at least you have M&Ms. Because again, brought to you by M&Ms. They're like, this movie, the product placement of this movie is so dumb. Like it's very like, well, at least you have M&Ms. And she like, listeners, you can't see it, but I'm holding up imaginary bag of M&Ms like to the camera.
We get this a couple more times where she's like, HTC phone.
Yes.
M&M's again. Like nice shot of M&M's in the guitar case.
Hold it a little higher. Higher. We get the paycheck if you hold it higher.
So then we get the Taylor Swift joke. This is all from the trailer. And she's like, oh, damn, I don't have my notebook. Where's my lyric book? Oh, no. It's still at the train station. And she's like, hey, Morgan, can you go get it? And
because it's sunlight outside.
Yes, because it's sunlight outside. And then so when we cut to the train station, Morgan shows up and Charlie's still there.
Unbelievable. Like I was so angry when this happened.
So I was confused about like how time worked right now because
it doesn't.
It's the next day. It's the next day because Morgan and
it's definitely the next day. I think what they're trying to do is Charlie was so smitten with her from
He
their
went
2
back.
seconds of awkward conversation. He's back at the train station hoping she will show up.
But like during the day, like wouldn't you go back to the time that you walked by when she was there?
Any other
That's
option.
That's the first start of research. And then, or go to Fred and the train station guy and be like, hey, this musician who's playing out here, obviously you must know her because you let her play out here.
Yep.
Who is she?
A lot of options.
A lot of options.
No, I think Charlie's plan is to stand here at the train station all day.
All day. Well, he is 17, 18-year-old, and we know kids are stupid, so.
Yeah, I wasn't that stupid.
No, I was saying no.
Not that kind of stupid.
No, different kind of stupid. But this is just, come on, man. He's some reasoning here.
Frustrating.
So, yeah,
Morgan texts her like, Charlie's got it.
Yep, boom, got it. And they have a little back and forth, Morgan and Charlie, and she's like, hey, I need that notebook. And he's like, well, why don't you just tell me your name and where she's, I can go drop it off. And she's like, I have a better idea.
Which is not a better idea. It's a worse idea.
Yeah.
In every way.
So then,
why didn't you just say that's where she lives? And then he could have just gone there and brought the notebook home. And
because people like lying, Jared. People like to lie and make things up. That's why.
Teenagers.
Right? So dramatic.
Can't live with them. Can't tie them up in your basement.
Nope. Or at least you can't tell anyone, right?
That's right.
So she texts Katie and she's like, hey, your notebook's at the train station. So I have to go to work. And then
at the Purdue Creamery, because everything in this town is
Purdue,
maybe brought to you by Purdue.
Chicken?
I think so, dude. I think this whole movie is product placement.
I think it is too. I am craving chicken now. So then she's like, Katie's like, hey, Dad, I'm going to go run out to the train station, get my notebook. The station's closed.
Yep.
I guess, yeah, trains don't travel all at the same time. So then Charlie's there with the notebook, though. He's been there all day.
Yep.
All night. So,
well, presumably after the interaction with,
Morgan,
maybe he went home
like,
and then came back.
Hey, go eat dinner and come back here. I'll tell her to meet you here. Yeah. Okay.
I hope.
And then
so she's freaking out.
She's freaking out
because she looks like a mess.
She calls Morgan. She's like, hey, I look like him. What do you do? Why did you do this? What are you doing? She's like, don't worry about it. Go talk to him.
You're super freaking hot.
Like your mom.
Yeah. And meanwhile, there's a kid at the counter at the ice cream shop being like, I just want some ice cream.
And I was like, who's this kid? Why? And she's like, can't you see I'm busy on the phone or something like that? I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So then they have this awkward conversation. They finally exchange names, Charlie, Katie, and then this back and forth about like, hey, did you read it? And he's like, well, I kind of skimmed through it because I didn't know who it was, yada, yada. So
yeah. Yep.
And she's like, that comes back later. There's a little something.
Yeah. Everything in this movie is just a setup to come back later. Cause he's like, wow, you exist. I thought I was just dreaming you up. And like, that's going to come back later. And babbling about random facts about things like we do. Like that's going to come back later.
Yep.
Terrible.
So we're in the town streets and they're talking and flirting. And he's like, yeah, she's like, I was homeschooled. And like,
that was the other thing that I hated. Cause he's like, when they're talking about the journal and stuff, and he's like, I like that you still handwrite things. It's cool. Old school. And you're like,
old school? What? You don't even know how to do cursive, I bet.
Anyway, you're right. Yeah. The walk home is uneventful.
Yeah, and it's just all
exposition.
Yeah, it's just all stuff from the trailer. He's like, hey, you want to go out sometime, whatever? And she's like, yeah, I'm busy during the day, but free at night. And she's like, oh, you should put your number here. And then she opens up the book and he already put his number in there. And she's like, smooth.
Yeah, like a creep.
Yeah. Don't go writing.
I'm old school too.
Don't go writing in my journal. Like,
yeah. Like, what if she didn't ask for your number? Like, then she's going to go through your journal and find your number randomly. Yeah. I don't know. It sounds upsetting. The other thing that I love, just going back to my wishful thinking about this being a horror movie, again, if the sarcasm lines are delivered straight face, like she's like, oh, he's like, oh, your dad's pretty protective, huh? And he's like, yeah, he's got his phone tapped into every camera in the city. And you're like,
oh.
Can you imagine? Like, he's watching us right now.
He's watching us right now. I need your help to escape because I'm trapped in this home.
I wanted all of it to be true.
I don't actually have this disease, but I've been, gaslit into thinking that I do, so I can't leave the home during the day.
Yes, yes. Make it like a Munchausen's thing. Or
I think we're ameliorating too soon, but yes.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So, all right. So then we're back home with Morgan, chatting, and she's like, hey, XP, did that come up? And she's like, no,
Yeah,
really.
what did he say about your XP? And then the only good delivery or like motivation in this movie is like, I want it to be seen more as a person than a disease.
Yes.
You know, like totally valid. The way that everything else happens in this movie is kind of deplorable in that sense, but
yeah, like this is okay. That's the heart of the story of her, right? Like I just want to be seen as normal, which, okay, there you go, movie. Sure. You're getting somewhere.
Yep.
It just blows out all of the water.
Yep. So then intro to Garver.
And then,
stupid name.
Yeah, Garver. Who names their kid Garver? Come on.
Yeah. That annoying kid at the ice cream shop. Yeah, I'm gonna bring you. There's a party going on later on. We're gonna do the whole thing.
Let's go. Right? Let's do it. So then she's like, why don't you invite Charlie, right? Because that's the whole like we invite him to the party. Text him, they have back and forth, and he's on his boat cleaning a boat. Not his boat, but a boat.
And she's bad at it. She says, my friend's having a party tonight if you want to come, but I don't care if you come or not. I have lots of friends. Which is pretty funny.
Pretty funny. So then Dad's like, oh yeah, and then we try convincing Dad, like, hey, let's go to the party, whatever. And he's like, oh, why don't we just do Netflix and Chinese food as we always do? Hey.
Sounds delightful.
Surprising, it's not a Netflix movie, but brought to you by Netflix.
You don't think they put a little money in for that?
Probably. Definitely. Probably. I mean, we did watch it on Netflix too. Damn it.
Exactly.
Damn it.
Big Netflix strikes again.
I'm not sure who's bigger now, Netflix or Pharma. Pharma, definitely. They can end planets if they want to. Okay, so Dad's like, fine, go, have a good time. And then they get ready and they have like the young adults high school girl moment thing where she kind of comes down the stairs and you have someone presenting her to like family members or like the boyfriend or something. Now it's just a Dad. And
in the prep work, she's like, we have to get ready. She's like, we have 3 hours. What are you talking about? You're like, that's not enough time. We're already behind.
That's how Jared and I get ready for things. So
hours and
hours of prep for this.
The makeup that we do before ITMT, listeners,
like
just so you can't see us.
Yes,
we sound better. I sound pretty, don't I?
It's about having confidence in yourself, And then yeah. So
tell me I'm pretty. Tell me I'm good.
You are, buddy. You are good. Thanks. You are pretty. Okay. Are we done here?
Yeah.
Okay. You're lucky.
Tell me I'm good. Listeners, tell me I'm good.
There's a weird crossing of the line of your mom hot joke here that ties to the movie, but I'm not going to make it, so I'm going to leave that one alone. But you look amazing, Peanut. Okay, so which would be a funny nickname for you.
Yeah, brought to you by Peanut M&Ms.
Don't send us any because Jared can't eat them.
Wow, Peanut M&M, you look amazing.
I think maybe that's how Glenn maybe died. I think I sent him some.
Glenn was also allergic to peanuts?
Yeah, I sent him some oysters, not knowing he was allergic to
peanut butter oysters. Yeah.
Shell. Well, we've talked about doing peanut butter on oysters, which is a delicacy in some parts of the world.
That's right.
It's that batch of peanut butter oysters I sent to Glenn, not knowing he was allergic to both. He didn't know either, apparently. Anyway, so where are we? So Peanut, Katie, she comes down and she looks great. She got a dress on, great. And Dad's like, oh no, nar. And he's like, you look amazing, Peanut. And then we cue the music and we're heading out. Let's go party. Hey, let's go.
Daddy looks a little saddy.
Yeah, saddy daddy, as he closes the door. And then we're at the keg party and
I love this whole scene is great. I thought it was funny.
This was pretty funny. So they show up and Garver, he's a total dummy.
Throwing a kegger.
Yeah, it's him and his nerdy friends. And he's like, hey, thanks. I'm glad you came with your hot friend. Who's your hot friend? And he's like, do you know how to get a beer?
You guys know how to get beer out of a keg?
I did like the line, why would they sell me something I can't access? And not give me the tools to access.
Which, hey, listeners, we've all been there.
We've all been there. You throw your first kegger and you're like, oh no, we need another tool to get the beer out of the keg. Ugh.
That's right. That time we threw our first kegger at work 10 years ago and we didn't have a tap.
Just remember, they're gonna take your ID for the tap. The keg is fine, but it's the tap that matters.
That's right.
But no one's at the party. It's dead.
2 nerds. Well, there's 2 other nerds there.
That's true. There's 2 other nerds there. So they're all hanging out, and then Charlie Reed shows up. Charlie Reed came to my party. What's he doing here? And of course,
sorry, I have to derail us again because it was my favorite line I think in the whole movie when Morgan's like, "This party's so lame," and Garver's just like, "Do lame parties have Sunday bars?"
Because he works at the ice cream shop.
He's like, "And I also have chili."
Oh my goodness, Garver saving a little bit here. So then Charlie Reed shows up, and everyone's like, "Oh shit, Charlie Reed's here," and no one's at the party. And of course, it like starts to rain, so it's raining now.
Garver serves chili.
Yeah, and then the nerds are like trying to hammer like at the top of the keg. Like it's
pretty funny.
Yeah, not a safety tip, it's just a general. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's a very bad idea.
Yeah, this is the best scene in the whole movie.
This is it. This is it. Well, I mean, the race home is pretty good too, but in a different way.
That's true. That's pretty funny.
It's pretty great in a different way.
Yeah.
And then we learn cheerleader Zoe Carmichael, that bitch, she's having a party too. Cheerleader party. Nerds. Yeah. Here's another.
No wonder no one's here.
Yeah. This might actually be a safety tip. I think it might be like 150 something.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it somewhere there?
Right.
Yeah. Don't. If you're, I don't know if it's maybe specifically
157. Yeah.
I don't think it's specifically if you're a nerd, but don't have a party the same day that the cheerleader is, Zoe Carmichael.
Yeah.
Plan differently, because her party's tonight. Don't do it. Can't compete with that. So then they're like, all right, let's go there. So we show up at, Charlie's like, yeah, you want to go to that party? And everyone's like, I guess so. Why not?
I guess so. Sure.
Yeah. So we're at Zoe's house, and it is bumping. This is
classic high school party movie.
Classic. Kids making out. There's red Solo cups. There's cans of non-alcoholic. No, I didn't either. I just hung out with my 5 friends and got drunk.
I just hung out with my 5 friends sober.
Oh.
Well, my 7 friends, and we had
7?
a band.
And right. That's right.
That's right.
Guys are a bunch of drama kids. Band. That's right. Sober band. No one likes a sober band.
A sober funk band. Yeah. Like every other normal 15-year-old.
Sober funk band, and you're telling me your career in music didn't take off?
That's right. We were focused on the music, Russ.
Right. Yeah, me too. No one focuses on the music. That was your problem.
We were a commercial enterprise. We were trying to play parties, and we did. Yeah, we definitely played a couple of like old guys' birthday parties for sure.
Yeah, hey, old guys, they pay.
And young people. The youths.
So she's like, Zoe Carmichael glances at the door and she's like, oh, hey, Charlie. And then she's like, who are these people? And she's like, well, he's like, these are my friends. And he points to Morgan and Katie. And he's like,
yeah, we're using friends loosely here, I guess now. And
then she's like, yeah, and these are nerds, but they brought a peace offering in the shape and form of a keg. So Zoe opened the goddamn door. So yeah, it's a party. We had a little quick party montage, making out, beers.
This is, again, not a safety tip, just a keg tip. That keg's going to be real difficult to pour beer out of if you've been transporting it around, shaking it all over the place. Like,
tap that one.
You got to let the keg sit.
Yeah, let it sit for a little bit. Don't tap that one right away. So, good. That was a good tip. That's a good, just life tip.
For all our high school listeners out there having keggers.
Right. Who shouldn't be drinking.
That's right.
Don't drink.
Brought to you by police.
That's right.
The Washington State Highway Patrol.
That's right. Don't drink. Don't stink. Don't drink.
That's what it says on the highway.
That's right. So don't do that. Okay. So Charlie's like a celebrity. Everyone's like, oh, damn, Charlie Reed's here. Oh, because swimming is bigger than football, I guess, in Washington State. And it's like the quarterback's in a corner being like, oh, man. 2 state championships and I don't get a...
Whoa.
Oh, man. Zoe Carmichael's going out with a swimmer, not me.
He's got that weird long top body.
Yeah. Does anyone see this? Does anyone not see this? He just spikes a football and leaves. He spikes this red Solo cup and leaves. All right. So then Katie's a little nervous. Like, it's a lot. There's like overwhelming. She's never been to a party before. It feels like it's just like, oh, just like a lot of people going on here. Bros. And then his bros show up from the bonfire. And one's like, oh, damn, who is this? I was like, dude, settle down.
And they love her though, because they're like, wow, you got Charlie to go to a party? Nice.
nice. And we get a little Charlie hand on on her back. And then Zoe shows up and she is not
I'm ready for my drink now, Charlie.
Where is it?
Ugh.
God, Zoe Carmichael, get out of here.
Get out of your own house.
And he's like, oh, we're going to go over there. And
I'm just going to give Katie the tour, the party tour.
House tour. Yeah.
Asinine.
Whatever. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, Zoe's big mad, which this never pays off. I'm still pissed about it because
Zoe Carmichael whole thing is like a storyline that just does nothing. Like
I was like, maybe she's gonna sabotage her medicine or something, or I was like, throw Zoe interesting.
Like she's gonna throw rocks through her window so sun beams through. Like
like something cool. Yeah,
like, nope. I don't know. Make her the villain. Like
nope, Charlie kills her, not Zoe.
Yeah, the sun is the actual villain.
That's right.
Jesus. All right, so we got party montage. Right? So we got drinking, we got shots, we got flip cup, we got dancing, we got fast zoom in shots, we got Garver doing some beer pong, hitting some shots.
He's good at it.
Yeah, and then we got Garver and Morgan making out in the car with the car alarm going off in the garage. And
which would bust your eardrums.
Don't do that. And if you are doing that, I mean, good for you, but don't do that.
Don't do that.
And she's like, if you tell anyone this, I'm going to kill you. Which is fair.
Brutal.
But she's like super mean to him at first because he goes over and says, hey, you want to dance?
She's cool somehow, which I thought I was under the assumption Morgan was like one of the nerds because all her friends are nerds.
Yeah.
But she like very clearly like walks around this party like she's a cool kid.
Yeah. So she's trotting that line, you know?
It's a tough line to trot.
It is. And then, they go dancing, whatever. And then, Charlie and Katie are just talking about like awkward, like the party is later on in the party. They're talking about how awkward this is and people in high school parties, whatever. And then he's like, hey, I'm going to take you somewhere. And they go out to the dance floor and they dance.
You want to get out of here?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, before that.
Yeah. Then they almost
dancing and
then they almost kiss.
Garver's life.
Yeah. And he interrupts everyone. He's like, that's the best song of my life.
Yeah. It's a big montage, another dancing montage. She's like, am I doing it? And he's like, which I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like you can dance in your house. Like you definitely have you never like none of these things make sense of like experiences that she's never had. You're like a lot of this stuff you can do in your house.
Like you're watching
have you stayed in shape all these years?
Right.
I don't understand any of this.
It's like you've seen movies with people dancing before. Like
right.
I don't know.
She's like, I don't understand. I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah, I think
and you're like,
the line of like her being like a fish out of water, like kind of thing doesn't.
They take it too far.
Yeah, it's too far. And he's like, we want to get out of here. And that's it. And then they go somewhere. They go to the boat dock. Boat
yard.
Boat yard. And
we get more exposition. Like, well, wait, how could they just take away your scholarship? Well, I had to have surgery on my should and they thought I could never swim again. Which, so that's not how surgery works. But
can't swim. Please explain. So he couldn't swim, so no money, whatever. He goes into like how he hurt his.
It was like total accident. Fell down the stairs. Actually,
that's not true.
Tell people.
And he's like, I got drunk over at Owen's, and they dared him
to jump. Way too drunk.
Way too drunk. They dared him to jump off the roof into the pool. He missed the landing, clipped his shoulder. So lesson learned. That's why he doesn't really drink. Which
they say so casually, and like she doesn't judge him for it. Which you're like, you're a dipshit.
Yeah. So if your friends tell you to jump off a bridge, you would because they told you to jump off a house, and you did it.
Oh boy. Yeah. And he's like, I don't want to be that guy, you know? And she's like, then don't be.
Don't be a drunk loser.
Yeah.
And then
she talks about her mom a bunch.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, this is where my mom taught me how to play guitar when she was a kid. And then she's like,
this watch was hers. You're like, all right. Is that going to come back?
Chekhov's watch. Well, it kind of does.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Kind of does.
You're right. It is Chekhov's watch.
In the worst way possible. The stupidest way possible. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, yeah, my mom died when I was young, car accident. I mean, that's how parents be dying in movies, car accidents, you know?
And he's like, we can go somewhere else if you want. She didn't get in the car accident here. Like,
yeah. I said car, not boat accident, you dummy. Did you hit your head on your way down from that roof?
He did.
He did. Yeah, definitely did. And then he's like, you want to see something cool? And I'm like, it depends. How cool.
Do I ever?
Yeah, do I? And he shows her the boat. And he's like, she's like, is this yours? He's like, nah, it's somebody's boat I just watch over the summer. So taking care of it. And then he's like, oh, I could take you out on it sometime. And she's like, oh, yeah, that'd be perfect.
Watch the sunset.
That'd be perfect. Yeah. And then they kiss. And he drops her off in his Ford truck that needs a tune-up.
Yeah. I was like, wait a second. The truck just like died outside our house. Like,
yeah.
So confused.
I'm like, really?
Brought to you by Ford.
Brought to you by Ford.
Because again, every logo in this movie, they have to zoom in on.
Yeah.
I bet nobody paid them for any of the things in this movie. They were just trying to. They were like afterwards. They're like, "Hey, look what we did!"
Like us,
money.
They're taking the AT&T model. Just say it and then be like, "Hey, look, we said this thing. You want to pay us money?"
Yeah, do free ads first.
Yeah, no. So then we're still in the truck, right? And we're hanging on a truck, and so she's like, "Yeah, no Berkeley. What are you going to do?" And he's like, "I don't know. I was going to get a new truck and drive across the country."
Yeah.
And he's like, "What are you
going
going
to do?" I've been in the pool my whole life.
Yeah. And he's like, "I've been in the pool my whole life." God damn it. And he's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm not doing anything. I'm going to take some online courses. I'll just be here around." And he's like, "Oh, I meant tomorrow." And she's like, "Oh."
Which say that because you were just talking about what you're doing this summer
for your life. Just
for your life, like.
Yeah, don't make her
screw you.
Yeah, don't make her feel stupid because she didn't like.
Yeah. Yeah, God, he's like negging her.
Yeah, I meant tomorrow. Like
it's tomorrow, dummy.
Dummy.
You sexy dummy.
Yeah. Was your mom hot too?
Yeah, you talked a lot about your dead mom. I bet she was banging, right?
Yeah. It was probably her hotness that got her in an accident, huh?
Jesus. You got any mom pics?
Yeah, I got mom pics. You sent them to my Snap. All right, so stupid kids. All right, so then she's like, "Of course, I'm busy during the day, but free tomorrow night." And they have weird super close-ups of their faces, and then she leaves, and then she comes back, and you're like, "Oh, she's gonna tell him right now." End of movie.
Yep.
No, she's like,
"Hey, I have something to tell you."
And we're all like, "Nope, I don't actually have a cat." Oh, yeah, no shit.
No shit. Yep. And meanwhile, Daddy's watching from the window.
Oh. Like creepily closes the curtain. This movie is like
which
tone.
Riggle could do a good creepy dad, I think too.
I think he could. I think that's what we need to see. I think we need to flip this movie and just turn it into like straight delivery and actually make all the lines like not comedic or sarcastic. Yeah, you're right. And it's just a horror. Right? Sorry, ameliorating. I think that's it. We figured it out. We'll get there. Okay, so then we're in a bedroom and she's hanging with Morgan again, and and Morgan's texting Garver, and yeah,
we made out.
So there we go.
He's cute and he totally likes you. I don't care about the Garver Morgan plot.
No one cares. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And then she's like, "Hey, will you cover me while I go out with Charlie?" And Morgan's like, "You're gonna lie? You want me to lie for you? Oh my God, this is amazing. Father? I'm so proud of you. You're a high school girl lying." Mm-hmm. So then she goes on and she's like, "Hey, Dad, I'm gonna go out to Morgan's." And he's like, "Okay, have fun." And she's doing she's kind of rambling on. She's like,
"I was at that party the other night, by the way. Did you meet any people?"
Yeah.
No.
Okay,
bye.
Bye. And then she stops. She's like, "My dad and I have such a great relationship." And she turns around. She's like, "I'm lying." He's like, "Yeah, I know."
Obviously,
we all know because we can tell when you're terrible lying. You lied about your cat.
You don't have a cat.
Yeah, you don't have a cat. We know this. Is your mom even dead? So, so she tells the truth. She's like, "I'm going to go see Charlie. He's nice. He's sweet. Whatever." And then Dad's like, "So, XP?" And she's like, "No, didn't mention."
"I just want to be normal for a few more days, Dad."
Then the heart of the story comes out. She's like, "I just want to be a normal girl who doesn't have a disease." And he's like, "Oh, break my heart, Peanut." Mm-hmm. And
peanut M&Ms.
Brought to you by Peanut M&Ms. And then Morgan shows up. She's like, "Hey, you gonna come over?" And it's a little comedic moment. And she's like, "I already told him I can't lie." So
yeah. And Daddy calls her pathetic, and it's like, even I would have lasted a couple hours.
Yeah, because Morgan's like, "You couldn't last 2 hours," and Dad's like,
brutal.
Yeah. Okay, and then we're in a truck, and what does Katie Price want to do right from the trailer? And she's like, "Everything."
Yeah, what don't I want to do?
And this is when we cue into
a montage. Yep. And they date, and there's ice cream, and there's walking around and
this
making
is
out.
many dates. So they keep showing a shot of her getting in the truck, them kissing
Yes.
the truck, and then it's like ice cream.
Playing guitar all day,
lyrics,
dating all night.
She's writing lyrics. She's writing the Charlie song, hugging and kissing, playing the guitar for dad.
When you say many days, you mean like 5 or 6. Like that's one of my biggest gripes with this movie is there's no time for them to like develop a real relationship, but they make it immediately like, oh, well, this is the most important thing in anyone's life.
Well, they're montaging it, right? Like we're supposed to get this time lapse of them, and like, oh, okay, so they're building this, so they are very close.
The whole movie's 2 months because it's the summer, right?
Yes.
It's like end of June to let's say end of August.
Yeah. About
like
that.
This must have been a week.
Maybe
2.
Maybe
right?
2. I mean, I don't know if you're going on that many dates over a week, but in movie time, it had to have been, right?
Yeah, very frustrating.
So more making out with Charlie in the truck, more lyrics, more hugging, more guitar playing. That's a montage. And then we're on the bonfire beach time.
Daddy watching.
Or daddy watching from the window. From like the
not
upstairs.
the kissing part.
Yeah, no. It's not that kind of movie. No? Is it? No, I don't know. Could be. Could go either way. So
and she writes in her notebook how alive she's feeling. That's the big song that she's working on. Right. I feel so alive.
Right. Burning as bright as the sun. And then we're sort of the bonfire. They're hanging out, and she's just firing off some star knowledge, being like, that over there is 16 light years away. It means we saw that when we were 7 or something like that, or just now.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, Berkeley coach called, and another swimmer transferred out, and I might have a spot.
Yeah, which that'll come back later. And like that's the other thing I think that one of the things I have a gripe with is like you find out later that the spoilers for later, the Berkeley coach is Katie's doing.
Yes.
But you're like, they were dating for again like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. Like
according to
what? It doesn't make any sense.
The coach would be like, who are you? What is this?
Charlie, what?
XP what?
The kid that's not going to school here? What like
you have experience points? What's happening here? So then so he's like, yeah, big meet next month. I got to train my ass off. I could do it. I got to swim my ass off. I got to train my ass off. And she's like, you know what? You can do it. Believe in yourself. Charlie Reed.
I believe in you. I know you really well.
And he's like, well, I got reasons to, stick around. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Looking at you, babe. And
again, they know each other for a week and a half.
And he's like, I want to take you on a real date tomorrow. Because what we've been doing hasn't been real.
That was another thing. I was like, wait, what?
You've been going on date. What's the difference between a real date and what you've been doing?
Well, I guess the fact that he needs to meet her dad.
Oh, which
stupid.
Dad already knows about him. Is it?
Yep.
Okay.
That's right.
But she's like, well, you're going to have to meet my dad. So here we are. We're at home and meeting dad. So we got Charlie.
So awkward in the living room.
Yeah, and this is like the one moment Riggle really got to be, I think, Riggle, which was kind of little Riggle. We got a little Riggle.
Calls him Cody, which is funny.
He's like, oh, his name's Charlie. Oh, I didn't even know that.
Oh, you go by Seatown or something? Cool with your friends?
He's like, no. He's like, when's your curfew? He's like, 1. He's like, yeah, but what time do you really get home?
2.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Who's your team? Seahawks. And he's like, okay, that's fair. He's like, Richard Sherman ate my fries. Ate my fries at this restaurant. He's like, all right, that's awesome.
Also asked him how many times per week he shaves, which is a questionable.
That's kind of a weird one
thing to ask a teenager.
Yeah, and then Katie comes down and
he starts to be like, well, Katie's disease, and then she's like, hey, Dad,
beep beep, hold up,
what?
And then she's got a guitar case or something like that, or Charlie's carrying. He's like, oh, I'll carry your guitar case. Right?
Yeah, which you're like, why? That was the big question we had from the trailer, right? Of like, why are you going to carry a guitar around all date night?
Right.
Find out.
Yeah. What'd you do? Where'd you put it when you went to the concert?
Held it.
Which I have also gripes about 17, 18-year-old kid who just, we'll get
there.
That's
right.
So
yeah, Daddy wants a picture.
Of course Daddy wants a photo because he wants a photo of everything.
Mm-hmm.
I want a collage of your faces down in my basement.
Just like your mother.
Just like your mother. Your very hot mother. Did I mention you look just like her? I don't know why he's got an accent. Closer, closer. No, further apart. Let the room for the Holy Ghost here. He's present. I can see him between you two. So he wants a photo. He's like,
Chianti.
Tell me, Charlie, do you like liver? So then Dad wants a photo, and they take a photo, and then they're heading out the door to go on real date night. And they're off. And
just like us.
We're off, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Date night?
Date night. We're off to date night. So
yeah,
we'll see how this all plays out, because we're going to get to it in part 2. Will the sun win? Right. Will the sun actually win?
Will the sun
burn out?
Burn out. Yeah.
Will the sun burn out? Who can know? It's not knowable information. Will Garver stick with Morgan? Serve up that ice cream?
Will that chili come back to haunt him? Perhaps.
Yes. Brought to you by Chili. So thanks for listening. We'll be back on Thursday part 2. In the meantime, you follow us on Instagram at @itsmeetsthat. Subscribe to us wherever you listen to podcasts and set us down. Auto download. If you like the show, tell a friend, share with a friend.
Yeah, or tell a stranger. Leave us a review. 5 stars would be nice. Apple, Spotify, wherever you're allowed to do that. Yelp, I always say, but no one ever does.
No, still waiting for that Yelp review.
Yeah, one of these days. Listener.
Do it, listener.
But if you're feeling old-fashioned, you can send us an email. It's justmeetsthat@gmail.com. Or go to the website, which, by the way, bud, happy episode 311.
311? Chill?
Yup. Amber's the color of your energy. That's right now, which means that there's 310 other episodes you can go listen to at the website.
That's so many.
So many.
Why? What are we doing with our lives?
This. Yep. This hours and hours of entertainment. Also merch, like we plugged a lot earlier. Buy the Glenn t-shirt.
Do it. Support Glenn.
For Glenn.
Support us by supporting Glenn.
For Glenn's family?
Which is us. Which is really us. So.
We might send them a check someday if we make money on the podcast. So
yeah. I think both his parents died in a car accident, though. So
I think you're right. Yeah. His dog. We support his dog. That's actually right. Where Russ got.
That's Armando. Armando used to be Glenn's dog, but then Glenn died, so I adopted Armando.
That's right. Yeah. That's all. It's all canon.
It's all canon.
But yeah, the merch link's there. No information about Russ's book host wherever you buy books, but you can buy wherever you buy book. And yeah, all kinds of other shit. It's thismeetsthat.com.